Hey everybody, just want to show you how to go about finding your resources for Habitudes and some suggestions on how to make that an easy process for you to teach those lessons. They're going to be pretty short, around 30 minutes long for each Habitudes lesson. So when you're doing that, you're going to go into your course, our course, DCMS Staff. You're going to scroll down until you see a Habitudes folder. Okay, and then you're going to see Teaching a Habitudes lesson here, and you're also going to see the schedule here. These will be updated. The schedule will be updated every week or two to let you know what lesson you're going to be teaching, and I'll go ahead and show you that. Okay, so this shows August 30th, 6th grade, you're teaching the iceberg lesson. 7th grade, host and guest. I've also got September 6th down. Those are going to be our digital days. We'll have those usually every other week, and there's more information to come on that as well. But you can kind of see what's coming up. Those are going to be scheduled every one or two weeks because we have so many things that come up and things get changed. So you can always go here though, and it will be updated as for what you need to do for Habitudes that week. So next week, 30th, we've got the iceberg and host and guest, and I'm going to show you how to go about preparing for that. All right, and go back to the folder. Now, Teaching a Habitudes lesson. Last year we had very specific lesson plans, and the Habitudes committee decided to try to simplify that. So again, these lessons are around 25-30 minutes, and there's plenty to do within these lessons. In fact, there should be extra things for you to fill time if you need them, but yeah, you're gonna have to push to get through this lesson in 25 minutes, so the kids will stay busy. Okay, so when you're ready to start preparing for your Habitudes lesson, which you're going to want to do, in advance. It doesn't take a lot of preparation, but you're definitely going to want to look through it. You're going to log in by clicking on this link. If you go to Schoology, you'll see this there, but you can click on Habitudes Online. Alright, mine logs straight in with my Gmail because I've been visiting the site. Yours might ask you, do you want to log in with Gmail? And you do. You want to log in with your Gmail account, your school information. And it's going to bring you to this page. Now, 6th grade, you guys, your Habitudes is the art of self-leadership. And 7th grade, your Habitudes, the art of connecting with others. For the purposes of this, we will pretend we're teaching. I'm a 6th grade teacher, and I'm going to be teaching a 6th grade lesson. Now this week the schedule said we're doing the iceberg lesson, so I'm going to be referencing back to that in just a minute. Now when I'm looking at this, it tells me I'm logged in. I know what I'm doing this week is the iceberg lesson. I'm going to move down to teaching the lesson. So use your projector to display the Habitudes image for the week and ask students what they think is the message behind the image. With Habitudes, the image is extremely important. That's what drives the lesson. So I'm going to go back here. Now I'm going to click on the lesson, and I'm going to go ahead and open up the presentation. Okay, from here I can go into presentation mode when I'm ready later, but for right now, if this is on my screen, we've got a good visual, I've got a good image, and we can talk about that image, what we think this is referring to, do we see any symbolism in it, that kind of thing. Okay, so we're going to address the image first. That should take maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, from that point on, you're going to play the video from the Habitudes lesson. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go ahead and open this video. I'm going to get all these in order so they're ready on the day of my lesson. So I'm going to drag my tabs here. So I've got my picture that I can refer to first. Then I'm going to play my video. It's going to look something like this. Some of them are kind of lengthy. This one's 11 minutes, for example. And this is kind of an overview of the lesson with the guy who created the lesson. So that's going to take 11 minutes to play through that. Okay? Going back, have a conversation using the PowerPoint from the Habitudes lesson. So I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint that I originally pulled up. I can put it in presentation mode. And I'm going to walk my students through this presentation. It's only like 4 to 5 slides. But it really does give like the message behind the image. This one, for example, gives 4 ingredients of character. We could talk about that. And then it gives a couple of questions that really prompt discussion. Why is focusing on the inside so difficult for us today, for example? And we're going to spend about 5 minutes talking through this lesson. Okay? So again, you can kind of see all the different reflect and respond questions. So we're going to spend about 5 minutes, like I said, working through the communication and conversation part of the lesson. All right? So number 4 then wants you to try to relate this to PBIS. So if you click on this link here, I'm going to go ahead and slide it in the order that I'm going to be discussing this with my kids. It pulls up DCMS Tigers on the Prowl, pulls up our matrix. So you need to ask the kids, this is going to be airplayed on your screen, how does this lesson about the iceberg relate to us being on the prowl? And ask them, spend a minute or two maybe asking them to relate this in some way to something on our PBIS matrix. But that's as simple as just one discussion question. Okay? Now at this point you're probably getting close to running out of time. Alright, but if not, you're going to keep pushing forward. And you can supplement your conversation with videos. And what I've done is I've made a playlist for 6th grade here. So if you're teaching a 6th grade lesson, it'll be here. If you're teaching a 7th grade lesson, it'll be here. So I'm going to click on this link. It should take me straight to the playlist. And I will be updating this weekly so that you know the video at the top is the video that you were using for that week. So in this case, this is a video from one of the Batman movies. It's the only video here. I know that's the one I'm using for this week. The next time we do a Habitudes lesson, it will be the video on top. So that can keep it pretty easy. It doesn't get disorganized. You just know that the video on top is always the video you will play for that week's lesson. Okay, so what I try to do was make it all so that it all links back to this. This should be your one-stop shop for teaching a Habitudes lesson. You should literally, when you're preparing for this, go in and pull this up. And from here, you can work your way through, click on the matrix, pull it up, click on the YouTube playlist and pull it up. And what I would do ahead of time, like I said, is get these things in the order that I'm going to use them in class. For example, like I said, you're going to have your PowerPoint pulled up. Get back into the presentation. So I'm going to slide these tabs in the order I'm going to use them to keep it simple. So I'm supposed to talk about the picture first, and then I'm supposed to play the video. So I've got picture, video, then I'm going to come back to the presentation again to walk my kids through in presentation mode the conversation. Okay, then from that point on I'm supposed to link it to PBIS. Okay, and then I can use a YouTube video to supplement what we talked about. Now, this at the very end, but one of the most important things you can do in teaching these lessons is share personal experience from your life that's related to this topic. Let your kids know you're a human and you've been through things that are similar to things that they're going to go through. So, I know that's last, but you want to try to push to get to that point, even if it's just a minute of time that you're taking to share this information with your kids. So we try to simplify it. You can move your way through it from top to bottom pretty easy. Like I said, go ahead and get them in order. So I'm going to show the image, talk about it. I'm going to play the video. Then I'm going to present using the PowerPoint. I'll go into presentation mode here, walk us through the conversation. I'm going to pull this up and we're going to talk about how it relates to being on the prowl. If there's any time left, I can supplement that with a YouTube video that they may connect with. And then I'm going to end our discussion with how this relates to me. So I hope this has been a help for Habitudes. There'll be more to come on Digital Day. Thanks.